Up next, please welcome on stage Mr. Bernard Najm, VP Telco MEA at AWS, to deliver his keynote.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning as well to all the audience which are listening to us around the world, I would say. I know many of them are in Europe also listening to us, and congratulations to Tony for making this as a hybrid session event this year. I think the audience is growing year by year. I'm really thrilled to stand in front of you here today to contribute to this really impressive conference which Telecom Review has put together. And I think the team, Tony and his team, has really put a lot of effort to bring the key leaders of the industry, and here he comes, no one else than Tony, to put us together, the key leaders, to discuss the impact of the future technology and communication on the Middle East and Africa region. It's okay. On the Middle East and Africa region and the social system as well as the individuals. Today, while listening to the panel and to the keynotes, I have to say I was really amazed. If you think back where we were a couple of years ago, 5 to 6, 7 years ago, and many of you have been here listening to these panels, we were a lot discussing about connectivity, about capacity, about features, about speed, about other kind of features, how to improve the technology. Where are we today? Today, if you noticed, we discussed almost all the time about digital transformation, about sustainability, about data, about the amount of data, about data lakes, about AI and ML needed to be able to consume all the data which we are creating with all the sensors, with all the networks. And it's a considerable shift, and that is only going to continue in this direction. The tone has changed, the language has changed, the focus has changed, and what is also inevitable, the merger between telco and IT has changed considerably, or has improved and has increased considerably. Also from the keynotes, listening to the medical, going into the medical field or going into the metaverse. And Leslie, by the way, I know you had a very good presentation, but we'll have a competition tomorrow from AWS where we will also show how AWS and metaverse are going to, what's the role, how we are going to promote startups to go into the metaverse. But I liked your presentation, but stand for tomorrow. Please listen to that as well. And Fuad, about all the data increases going into different ecosystems, and how are we going to really consume all this data? Even just listening to the data presented is quite a lot. Where does AWS stand in all that? AWS is the glue in between. AWS makes all this happen. We work with ISVs, we work with operators, and that is what we would like to discuss today. So I'm really proud and honored to be able to lead into this panel today, panel discussion about cloud adoption in the Middle East and Africa. And to set the scene, I would like to discuss about our role as AWS and why it is important for us to be here. So at AWS, the mission of our telecom business unit is to help telecom operators in Middle East and Africa to accelerate business value by reinventing communication altogether. We do this through innovating with the telecom operators and for them, and engaging on their behalf with a large ecosystem of telco partners and developers to deliver solutions. That is what we do. What does this allow us or them is to apply the cloud model on the telco model so that they can benefit from the advantages of the cloud, which is agility, elasticity, speed, automation, performance, and low cost of the cloud. These are the main advantages of the cloud. We continue to work with telecom operators on 4 main aspects, on 4 main fields. One, we help them unlock the growth by monetizing the 5G and increasing the core telco offerings. On the second point, we support them to reimagine their customers' experience through AI and ML for personalized interaction for their end customers. On the third point, we also help them to simplify their operation by using automation. And last but not least, the fourth point is to cloudify the networks. And to showcase how this works specifically in the Middle East and Africa region, where great efforts are undertaken by the operators here, let me illustrate 3 examples which will clarify what are the advantages and how they work. Now, we all know that top-line growth and innovation are major priorities for telecom operators to drive return on investment, especially after having spent that much of CapEx on rolling out the 5G networks. So what we do is we're working with telcos to help them diversify their offerings and unlock new growth potentials in different joint go-to-market motions. One such example is with eEnd. Etisalat UAE this year announced that it is extending the collaboration with AWS to address the growing demand for digitalization in different industries with use cases focused on enterprises such as oil and gas, manufacturing, and logistics. Now, under this collaboration between AWS and Etisalat, we will build industry-specific solutions that offer low latency and high-performance computing services and leveraging private 5G network and mobile edge computing. On the other example which I want to highlight is that telecom operators also seek to simplify their operation by transforming their IT infrastructure and increasing automation across the business processes. AWS is working with those operators to take out complexity from the enterprise IT, from the OSS and BSS environment, and by moving them to the cloud. An example for this is the collaboration between AWS and Zain Tech, where we are establishing a cloud center of excellence. In this cloud center of excellence, what it will do is to certify Zain Tech's cloud team and expand on their strong business-driven approach to transformation, as well as the company's significant investment in automation and innovation. This collaboration between AWS and Zain Tech, under this collaboration, we will work together to develop accelerators for migrating and managing SAP, Salesforce, VMware, and other enterprise applications to AWS, helping businesses integrate their existing IT investments. A completely different example is on Safaricom. So beyond what I already described, the transformation of operation and how to go to market based on the cloud, CSPs also look to transform and fundamentally change the consumption of new and innovative services by their end customers. And this can be illustrated in the example of Safaricom in Kenya, which has more than 40 million subscribers. So what did they do? The purpose of Safaricom is to transform the lives of its customer to invest into innovation for social and economic empowerment of the society. One of the prime examples is Safaricom's investment into the agriculture sector transformation through DigiFarm. And what is DigiFarm? DigiFarm is a free service that offers smallholder farmers a convenient one-stop access to quality farm inputs at discounted prices, input loans, learning content on farming, as well as access to the market. What have we done? In partnership with AWS, Safaricom launched DigiFarm e-marketplace, which is built on cloud technology, at a scalable, highly available manner and secure application platform. Now, what it allows the farmers to do is to sign up and sell their products in a frictionless manner using their mobile phones, tablets, or computers. What happens as a result is that DigiFarm is transforming the agriculture sector across all value chains with the vision to leverage the technology to enable small farmers become wealthier and resulting in a sustained food security. So these are a couple of examples just to demonstrate to what extent, other than only, I mean, of course, on the medical side and on the metaverse, but these are real life examples as well, which impact the society and the people in the region. So these examples, if you can change the slide, have been enabled, supported by the AWS global cloud infrastructure. As you can see, AWS has over 27 launch regions with 87 availability zones and more than 410 POPs, complemented by 21 local zones, 28 wavelength zones, and 115 direct connect locations in 245 countries and territories. In August of this year, we also opened the UAE region, complementing the overall investment in Middle East and Africa. This new UAE region is estimated to support an average of a yearly 6,000 full-time jobs and has a planned investment of more than 20 billion dirham until 2036 in the UAE. It will also add an estimated 41 billion dirham over the next 15 years to the UAE's GDP. Of course, it is the second region in the Middle East and Africa, in the Middle East, as it is joining the Bahrain region. And the region in the UAE has also 3 availability zones distributed across the country, which can be used for application across multiple data centers. In Africa, AWS has a region in Cape Town, in South Africa, serving the African markets. And we are also have announced the plans to build local zones in Johannesburg and in Nairobi and in Kenya. And obviously, this is also going to be followed by more investments and by more infrastructure in the different countries in Middle East and Africa within the next weeks, months, and years. So some of you know that last week, AWS had its large conference in Las Vegas, which we call the reInvent. And here we have had one very important announcement, which I would like to highlight here, which is the AWS Digital Sovereignty Pledge. It's our commitment to offering all AWS customers the most advanced set of sovereignty controls and features available in the cloud. AWS already offers a range of data protection features, accreditation, and contractual commitments that give customers control over where they locate their data, who can access it, and how it is used. Now, the new pledge is that to expand on these capabilities, we will allow customers around the world to meet their digital sovereignty requirements without compromising on the capabilities, performance, innovation, and scale of the AWS cloud. At the same time, we will continue to work deeply and understand the evolving needs of the regulators and customers in order to innovate to meet those requirements. So with these investment and commitments, AWS is putting the tools of innovation into the hands of telecom operators and their end customers. So having said all that, I would like now to invite the panel to discuss the questions related to those topics. And I'm looking forward to engage with all of you during the day today and tomorrow to answer questions or to also elaborate on some opportunities. Thank you very much.